The Perrin Family Haunting. This is the true story of a family who moved into a house in the village of Harrisville, Rhode Island, in the 1970s. The events that happened to this family inspired the famous film The Conjuring, but the reality of the story is even scarier than the film. The story begins. In 1971, Roger and Carolyn Perrin moved into an old farmhouse with their 5 daughters. The house, which was over 200 years old, was located on a large, wooded lot. From the very first days, the family noticed strange things. The family's younger daughters claimed to hear whispering sounds at night. Doors would open and close on their own, and objects they had placed in their places would suddenly disappear and turn up in strange places. One of the girls, Cindy, would wake up at night screaming, claiming to hear someone saying, "What are you doing in my house? You don't belong here." Stranger things. The mysterious behavior gradually intensified. An unpleasant smell, like rotting meat, filled the house, for which there was no explanation. Caroline often felt someone touching her shoulder or hand, but when she returned, no one was behind her. One night, as the family was gathered around the dinner table, they heard a loud, deafening noise coming from the basement. When Roger went down to investigate, he found nothing unusual, but he felt the air getting colder and heavier. From that night on, no one dared to go down there alone. Bathsheba, the haunting ghost. Caroline began researching the history of the house and discovered that it had belonged to a woman named Bathsheba Sherman. Bathsheba had been accused of killing her child by using witchcraft. The locals believed that she was a witch and had cursed the house. Gradually, Caroline began to feel that Bathsheba's ghost was targeting her. She often found strange bruises on her body, and one night, while she was sleeping, she felt something heavy sit on her chest and suffocate her. The presence of Ed and Lorraine Warren. When things became unbearable, the Perrin family contacted a team of paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens were experts in investigating hauntings and paranormal activity. Lorraine Warren, a well-known medium, said upon entering the house that the place was full of wandering spirits, but Bathsheba's spirit was the most powerful and vicious. She claimed that Bathsheba wanted to drive the family out of the house and that she had targeted Caroline in particular. The exorcism and its aftermath. The Warrens decided to hold an exorcism at the house, but the session went horribly wrong. Lorraine later claimed that Bathsheba's spirit had taken control of Caroline, and she began speaking in an inhuman voice and making violent movements. In the midst of the exorcism, Roger, terrified and worried for his family, kicked the Warrens out of the house. He believed that their interference had made things worse. The end of the nightmare. The Perrins were forced to stay in the house for 5 years because they could not afford to move. During this time, Bathsheba's spirit and other spirits made their lives hell. Eventually, they left the house and moved to another location. But even after they left, the daughters of the family claimed to sometimes hear voices coming from the house in their dreams. Spooky facts. The Perrin family home still exists and is considered one of the most haunted places in the world. Those who have visited the house have reported strange noises, moving shadows, and a feeling of heaviness and presence around them. Is this just a collective hallucination, or is there really something evil lurking in the house? Would you dare spend a night in such a house?